Hi, I'm Steve Sample with Bama Talk. Don't miss a single episode of Bama Talk Show, available now on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app, and on the web at bigbrainsmedia.com.
This is your Weather Extreme video for Saturday, November the 9th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks for tuning in. Let's go to the other side of the world. There's a look at the latest satellite image on Typhoon 31W, or Haiyan, I think is how you pronounce that. And there's the track as it has crossed the Philippines, south of Manila, and is now headed over towards Vietnam. No tropical storms or weather systems of any real significance across central Alabama. There's a look at the sky cam for Gadsden this morning. We do have some high cirrus clouds. We can see some high cirrus clouds also at the Jasper sky cam as the sun is rising this morning. We will see some passing clouds today across the sky, some mid and high clouds, probably producing some virga at times, but the atmosphere is extremely dry. We're in a bit of a zonal flow in the upper atmosphere, and we have high pressure at the surface centered over about North Carolina that is keeping things in great shape today. Temperatures this morning starting off a little chillier in the northeast, where they're down very close to the freezing mark, around 34 at the time of this map, but for much of central Alabama, we're in the 40s. QPF-wise, we're just not showing much in the way of precipitation for the next 5 days. As a matter of fact, the best threat is going to come on Tuesday, and that is likely to be just a very fine line and perhaps almost a trace or less, probably less than a tenth of an inch for most locations. The 060 GFS model run, and we've got some real big changes coming in our forecast. There's the surface high this morning, this afternoon. That's going to make for great football games across the area. Again, we'll see some passing clouds. If you look in the upper atmosphere, you can see that there's a little bit of a vorticity center moving through the flow this afternoon around noontime, and that could produce some virga. But as I mentioned, the atmosphere is extremely dry. There's a look at the sounding from the Shelby County Airport from last night, and you can see that it is extremely dry in the atmosphere, so I don't think we'll see many of those sprinkles getting to the ground. The flow stays somewhat zonal aloft on Sunday, and we stay under a kind of a second high-pressure system that settles in from the central U.S. over the southeastern U.S. But then on Monday, we begin to see a big change as a very strong trough from a closed low just north of the Great Lakes as a trough begins to descend into the eastern half of the country. That trough will dig in on Tuesday, and that will usher in the passage of a cold front through the area. The GFS is suggesting it will come through dry, and I think it will, thanks to the lack of moisture. But notice the 540 thickness line on Tuesday at midday down in the vicinity of Memphis, or Whitehaven, just south of Memphis. That trough moves through pretty briskly on Wednesday, and I think Wednesday is going to be a very chilly day when we don't even see temperatures climb out of the 40s, forecasting a high of about 48 for the Birmingham area. We begin to moderate pretty quickly, though, on Thursday as the thicknesses come up, but you see that we're also getting another trough coming in, and that trough digs back in around Friday. So while we expect to warm up by Friday, say to around 60 degrees, it does look like the week ahead is going to be below normal, but you see that on Friday the thicknesses have come back up considerably, and this next shot of cold air is certainly not quite as cold as the one that we're experiencing on Tuesday and Wednesday time frame. When we get into Saturday, a week from today, the pattern is still somewhat chilly, especially to the west of us, and that will bring in another cool period on Sunday more than likely. You can see that the 540 thickness line still not as far south as it was on or is expected to be on the one coming through at midweek. Going out into Voodoo country, we stay cool through Monday as you see the trough over the eastern half of the country and a trough holding back over the southwest U.S. That one could prove to be a little bit wetter for us with that tapping into southwesterly moisture. But of course, we're dealing with Voodoo country. But the big change comes around the 24th, and this would be the kind of the 22nd, 23rd time frame. It looks like we come under a fairly good-sized ridge. That would certainly warm things up quite a bit over the eastern half of the country as we see a big trough along the west coast of the United States. Well, that'll do it for the Weather Extreme video for this Saturday. I expect to have the next one posted first thing on Sunday morning by around 8 a.m. or so. In the meantime, I hope you have a great day and Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news. in all of Central Alabama.
In back-to-back ratings periods,
more people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.